CMB, we in the building, swagged out.
Always, when I hit the club, give me dap, give me hug, and since I'm paid, be mugging me, you know I'm mugging back. Be mugging me, you know I'm mugging back. Yes, sir.
Yo, this is your boy Ameer Baraka. Welcome to Let the Hood Talk. I'm the host, and today we down in the dirty, dirty South. We in Birdman's neighborhood. We're gonna find out what Birdman is really about, how he come up, what is he doing with his money, does he come back to the hood? Just a plethora of questions, and we're doing it from a hood perspective. We're gonna let these guys who in the hood, these guys who really grimy guys, really tell the true story.
I'm the hottest, jumping out the coffee pot. Man, I'm just trying to get my spot.
I want to ask you guys some questions. I hear that this is Birdman's neighborhood, huh?
This ain't Birdman neighborhood.
Really?
He didn't
Our neighborhood, like.
Right. But he grew up in this area, come up in this area, right?
Yeah, he came up around y'all, but he left like chilling in Norway, like, so you know, he like VL and Magnolia. We is all VL, like 13 CL.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, bro.
I'm hounded, you know.
So anyone you guys personally know, Baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So what type of guy is Baby, man?
Man, scoundrel.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, homie. We keep it real with you, nigga. He's straight on the little on some shit. He's straight on some shit, you heard me? On some other bullshit, you heard me? But he be on some funny level type shit, you heard me?
What do you mean by that?
On some funny type level shit. He don't be really speaking what he really be speaking.
He like the Don King of the hood, like, you heard me? He like the bitch about his money, be like a Don King, like, you feel me? If you a dumbass nigga, he'll scoundrel you, like, you feel me?
Or if you're a dumbass nigga, he'll take your money.
Yeah, like.
So does Baby come through the block in his Bentleys and stuff like that, kicking?
Nah, he just coming around.
Only on a holiday or something, a big old occasion or something.
I ain't see Baby and, you know, yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
BG just was around here. You could say yesterday, day before.
Well, but Baby,
He's in the club and everything, getting the club, Travis City bound, you know?
Well, Baby always talk about how he be's in his hood, in his family. Is that true?
Niggas say a lot of shit.
Say, what hood?
Is he respected in his hood, man? Like, you know,
It's who respected? Which one?
Baby, is he like he's like a G in his hood?
I mean,
Put your little G.
And like a whoa and keep going thing, you feel?
Yeah.
G, but you know, some niggas don't respect him, some niggas do.
Right. I hear a lot of people have a lot of respect for like C Murder in this hood, man. C Murder, BG.
Niggas who keep it 100, all niggas gonna have respect for them.
Right. So does Baby come back in the hood and help kids out, do anything?
I ain't never saw it happen. Me
Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
he out turkeys, you heard me? In the park.
All right, for Thanksgiving.
A lot of turkeys.
All right, you heard me? We got a park in the 13th. No turkeys don't get passed out there. But the park by the lawyer, the turkeys get passed out there, so what's the difference?
We're here at the barber shop, and we're going in to find out about Baby, the hood talk. So let's see what the hood has to say.
It was just not right. You know, when you're trying to dip and you shouldn't be dipping.
Do you know Baby, man?
Yeah, I know him. I know of him.
And how do you know of him?
I met him on way, I guess about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Through a barber by the name of Stan Norwood. And Stan told him that he knows a limo driver, and that's me. Pretty much I was like one of their limo drivers before they made the deal.
So how was he coming up, man?
He was pretty cool. He was cool guy. I remember a conversation, for example, I guess, of them in the limousine. He telling BG, Lil Wayne and them that y'all gonna be like the hot boys and me and Fresh gonna be like the big timers or some shit. You know, I remember him saying that. I think we were coming back from like Lafayette, Louisiana, or home, one of them country towns. Because before they made it big, you know, they did a lot of country town circuits. I'm trying to keep this clean as possible.
So Baby was respected in his community, and you know, in a lot of the songs he talks about he was a G in his hood, he was this and that, he's well respected in the hood. So is that true? Is he really respected in his hood, man?
Well, in the sense of making it, yes.
Yeah, but for us in the sense of man to man, G to G.
I respect him for what he's accomplished, but I ain't no G in the hood. I ain't no head buster. I ain't no gangbanger, so I don't know, how to really answer that question.
So was he a head buster? Was he a gangbanger?
To my knowledge, no. No.
So he wasn't this bad boy image at all.
Well, he is from the Magnolia.
Right.
Valens in Magnolia. Street.
But he's not a bad boy. He's not a tough kid. He wasn't a tough kid in the hood, like he says in his music.
I don't know of him being no murderer, head buster, nothing like that.
So was he punked around?
Honestly, to be real with you, I ain't never seen him be punked around, but I just don't know nothing about the head buster.
Yeah, you don't know anything about being a tough guy.
My dealings with him were business dealings with the limousine. They were kind. I mean, I got a couple of bad checks. Could use that money now. I mean, we're in a recession.
So listen. So Brian wrote you some bad checks?
Well, from the corporation, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he come back into his community and be involved in any type of school programs or donating computers or anything to help the kids, man? Because men are men, but the kids definitely need help. So is he involved in anything like that? Talking to kids?
The only thing that I know of, because I volunteer and work it, is the turkey giveaway, where they do give a truckload of turkeys and all the trimmings to needed families from the uptown area. Yeah. And for that, I like to commend them for that. And they do that every year.
Yeah. So do you get a sense of people respecting him in the neighborhood? I mean, is there anything like, when he comes to the neighborhood, does he come to the neighborhood? Of
course, he's a ghetto superstar. He's a hood star. When people see that big tour bus on Valley Street, they know who's it. Right. They know who's in the hood. And if we see somebody and they're in need, I have seen them go in his pocket and whip out, a couple of $100s,
So, a lot of people have a lot of hate towards Brian because, I guess he doesn't give them per se money, but, every man stands on his own. Right. But I do hear from a lot of other people that he's brought a lot of guys from his community along with him and helped them in the business. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh, we got a lot of good artists here in the city that have not been helped.
So there's no other major labels that Baby has helped bringing along in this city, or any other rappers that are good enough?
You know what? All the rappers that they're featured on, that they ain't necessarily from New Orleans. I don't know. In my opinion, New Orleans people really don't help New Orleans people like they should, and that's strictly my opinion.
Right. So you feel as though that Cash Money isn't really helping any other artists?
I would say Cash Money, No Limit, all of them from here did not take full advantage of the avenue of New Orleans being on top like Atlanta is still doing.
Where were you doing Katrina, man?
Well, doing Katrina, I physically was in Houston, Texas, but like everybody else, watching it on CNN, praying that night, but crying during the day.
So tell me something, man. Did Cash Money and them do anything, man, for the neighborhood for Katrina, man? They say that they gave a lot, they did this, they did that. So, I mean, what do you?
I don't know about that, but honestly, I saw Baby's kids with his sister at the convention center in Houston with my eyes.
You seen Baby's sister at the convention center?
I seen Baby's kids with his sisters at the convention center in Houston. The George L. Brown, I might be wrong with the George L., but I know it's the Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas. Now they could have just been there looking for people. Right. And I was.
So did they do anything in the community and for the community, man?
I honestly don't know about that, but I had Dougie Fresh on the line wanting to talk to Baby because I know some people on the East Coast wanted to act right then and there.
Right.
To help us out.
Really? And who were these people?
Well, Dougie Fresh had a group of people like Russell Simmons, Puff Daddy, the Minister Louis Farrakhan. These are people that were with Dougie trying to do something for the people of New Orleans. They didn't want funds to go through Red Cross. They wanted it to go directly to the people. That I know. Right. Dougie is a friend of mine.
So Brian didn't give, from your knowledge,
it was not that. That phone call never did happen. Why? I don't know, because to me, it was bigger than me, him. It was about a group of people from New Orleans.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just about black people. It was about people from New Orleans in their time of need.
Right. So you know, on these interviews, on these TV interviews, it was like, you know, he had a heart for the people and he was concerned, and you know, he wanted to do a whole lot. And we were just trying to, you know, follow up on, you know, what did he do in fact?
I don't know what he did, but I know Dougie Fresh was ready, willing, and able in trying to help our city. Matter of fact, this man called me up and flew me to Harlem. I stayed in his house. He was the host of the Bad Boys of Comedy Jam. He used that platform in the 4 cities I went to with him to raise over $10,000 for Katrina victims, and that money went to like 5 or 10 families that were in New York, and he added another 5 or 10,000 of his own money to go with that.
Right.
And he sold his CDs, and those proceeds went to families from New Orleans in New York.
So did Baby ever do anything like that?
I can't address that. I really can't address that.
Anything like that?
Not to my knowledge. Now maybe he did stuff privately, because we had a lot of people to do stuff privately. A lot of celebrities that I know they've done stuff privately.
But being this your neighborhood, I mean, you know.
Yeah, you would think we.
Was he here? Did he come back and did he feed the people or?
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Other than the turkey giveaway, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Hey, I don't know, man. I mean, we're getting a lot of conflicting stories about this guy, Brian Williams. Some guys say he's good. Some guys say, you know, he really doesn't come back. So, I mean, from what I've heard thus far, it's kind of strange to me, man. So, baby, listen, man, if you want to respond to that, hit us up at letthehoodtalk.com. Post your comments, or get in contact with us, and we'll put you on camera.
Hey, Big Stan.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question, man. What is that sign, enough, man? What does that mean, man?
That's enough. That's about the violence that's taking place within our city and throughout the community. Unfortunately, we have to plaster those signs just about everywhere, but I mean, based on even the events that just passed, it's not really surfacing like it should. I mean, we get a lot of leaders to come here and talk, but they go to and talk to people at church. People at church are not killing nobody. Those signs are put out by a church from out in Central City. The unfortunate thing about it is we have a bunch of kids, we have a bunch of teenagers who feel like it's not a big deal, and somebody has told them somewhere down the line that it's cool, you can kill somebody and get out of jail within 60 days. And unfortunately, our justice system has allowed them to actually do just that.
Really?
They can go wind up committing a homicide, a murder, and know for a fact that nobody's coming to testify, and that's why they home in 60 days. So it just, the street has now started to justify themselves. So that's why, you know, you have a murder on Friday, you know for a fact within 2 weeks they're gonna have a retaliation murder. Or within 60 days, when that person go, he get arrested, he come back, within 60 days he gonna come resurface again, and you're gonna have another retaliation murder. So enough is enough.
Has he come back and tried to talk to the youth about?
Well, actually, he's lost a few friends himself. So I mean, he lost his brother to violence. So to a certain extent, that's still a mystery. I mean, he lost his own brother within it. So I don't think he's ever actually came back and specifically sat down or even given an official speech about it.
Right.
Because, you know, he was a part of whatever took place that actually claimed the life of his brother years ago. So he accepted a street rule. So whatever that means.
So you don't think that he's obligated to come back and try to talk to the youth since he's made it out of this hood, became so successful?
I wouldn't say he's not obligated, but I also wouldn't say that it's fully and only one of the sole responsibilities of him because he's from our community. But we all have to stand up for ourselves, regardless to if, you know, you have somebody of his stature to do it or not.
Do you think these celebrities should, because they're so popular and the kids look up to them?
Don't mean you came up right.
And the kids look up to them.
Right, I understand that, but what I'm saying is I can't allow, say, for my brothers, my own blood brothers, to come in and say, okay, I'm going to tell you right from wrong, and then I leave right out of here and go get 25 years for armed robbery. Yeah, I got to practice what I preach. Yeah. So the deal is now I can't be the responsible party to go out. Now me, myself, based on my background, yeah, I would be able to want to be. If you a community activist, you going, regardless to what kind of money you have, that's what you are. You grow up, you understand, you see what it means to you, so that's in you and that's what you want to set forward. But if that's not in you, regardless if you broke or rich, If it's not in you to go out and be saying, I'm going to stand up on this platform and I'm going to live my life and I'm doing straight and narrow. If you know you wasn't doing nothing straight by the book and by the arrow, how could you tell somebody else to do it?
Well, none of us are perfect, but I think that...
And that's just the way he see it. That's the way I see it for anybody else.
So therefore, you suggest, so what you're saying is that because these guys have made so much money and they're rich and they're famous and they have a voice, they definitely have a voice, but their voice is a negative voice. I think if they can take that same voice and encourage and maybe try to uplift, maybe it's a possibility things can change.
I never said they had a negative voice. What I'm saying is they alleviate to use their voice simply because their past is not the greatest of passes to be influential on anybody. I can't go out. If I wasn't doing all these things myself, I do have a social responsibility to guide my kids not to do the exact same thing I did. In my case, I can do just about and tell anybody just about anything. Speaking for myself, based on the fact that I grew up in this community, I grew up within an environment, and you always hear, oh, he's just a product of his environment. Well, my environment was the same as theirs. My environment was the same as my two brothers. We all went 3 total different paths.
Has Baby, being from this community, has he done anything from an academic standpoint of helping the old schools or putting computers in areas?
I couldn't put my finger on and say that he has specifically went out to do nothing, especially publicized or non-publicized.
Tell me something. What are some of the great things you know about Baby, man? Tell me something.
The deal is he's going to do. Otherwise, we all grew up in the same block. He grew up across the street from me. We played basketball. He played bitty basketball. He came through another program, just like just like most kids in the neighborhood. Mom and dad, wholesome family, bro. Bottom line, his pops used to hustle up and do all. He had a lounge, grocery store. So he's been around just the whole structure of being a business hustler. His dad was just an adamant, get out and go get it type of person. And so as far as him getting out to go get it and get it done, regardless if it was right or wrong, he went out and did it. So, otherwise, him personally, easy going dude. I don't know what, what people looked at him as on television, but that's not the same dude I know. I grew up and I see him as the person that I grew up with. He have a story to tell, and that's the story that he told. That's the story, and a lot of the story that he telling, a lot of people don't want to say, but a lot of stuff took place that kind of went within those guidelines.
Yeah.
So, and the deal is, for him to be hands-on, involved with stuff, and bragging about things, he ain't that type of person to be bragging about the negative things that took place within his life. So, that whole, the street mentality thing, yeah, he had his ups and downs in the street. He almost lost his life on numerous times in the street. So you can only come so close, so many times, without it actually getting to you. So obviously it made a difference to make him decide to want to go in a different route.
There's so many African Americans who come out these slum areas, become successful, and never reach back in a way of helping not men, grown men, but young kids with books or any school material. Why is that, Stan?
I think to a certain extent society has taught us as we become successful, you are supposed to leave.
Right.
That's totally opposite of what I believe in. Me, myself, I think the responsibility socially for somebody who does become successful within a community or an environment is to stay there and build it from within. I think you ain't had no business leaving from the get-go. So that goes for anybody.
Right.
If you take one community, if you take 8 blocks straight down the street, and everybody, as they become successful, they leave and they move to the suburbs. And you only leave the negative people, and you only leave the gangsters and the people who dropped out of school. And you got a group of kids who are 8 and 9 years old, they looking up, but they only see negative. I feel like for everybody who left, they did our community a social injustice by leaving, because in that matter, had they stayed and had they built and had they did all of the things that we all worked for successfully, you would have a group of kids looking up at Dr. Salvin. You'd have a group of kids looking at Lieutenant Williams. You'd have a group of kids looking at Babe Williams from down the street, because they all grew up there and they all built right where they were. They didn't leave. But somebody has told us, in order for you to attain success and know that you've attained it, you have to leave. You got to buy your house in the suburbs and you have to leave.
And If you had acquired the money that Baby had acquired, if you had acquired that money, what, in fact, you would have done for your community?
Well, it's not a question of that. I mean, bottom line, like I said, if you have philanthropy in your heart, it's in your heart regardless of if you have money or not. I mean, me myself, I don't have a whole bunch of money, but I go out my way to do things for people that they can't do for themselves, regardless to what the actual dollar value is. But that's just me personally. I mean, he may feel like that's not for him. Can I hold a grudge with him because he feel like that? Not necessarily, but realistically, you feel like, and we all, like a society, and we all have a sociological basic responsibility to try to help out. But if it's not in you, it's not in you.
Yeah. So, Dirty Kid, can you let the world know, you know, who is really Baby from the hood perspective?
Dude, he all right, but he official, man. He ain't, you know, he ain't never did nothing wrong around here. He ain't the type of nigga that got the money and just forgot where he was from or something. A lot of people might say that about him, but he not like that. Before it got, you know, that's the point where, you know, like, all right now, he got the biggest artists in the game under his label. Before it got like that, when it was just, you know, some mediocre rappers, he was still around here.
Yeah.
He was around here on the daily. They shot every last one of their old videos was shot around here. They came around here and they did what they had to do, you know, as far as taking care of the hood. They took care of Big Stan in the barbershop. They took care of all their family, their blood, and the people they grew up with, and their kids and stuff. They did their thing on that level. They ain't never did nothing sideways around here. They ain't never, you know, just not do nothing or not come back. He came around here. They do big old block parties and stuff for us. You don't owe me nothing.
Yo, welcome back to Let the Hood Talk. I was so shocked, man, the things that I heard about Baby, man. I really thought that he was this type of guy that really, you know, was a head buster, but, you know, Let the Hood Talk, man. When you go into these hoods, man, these little guys are really going to give you the true story about these guys, because you got these guys who are really grimy and hungry. They're in the hood, man, and if you're not real, man, I mean, they're going to say it. So I was just shocked, just like you guys were shocked. I'm sure you guys were really shocked more than me, man, but the hood has spoken. So Let the Hood Talk, man. We do every story we want. I mean, basically, we want every story, every hood, every entertainer. All right, so peace out. Stay tuned to next week. Next week, we're going further down into the south of your boy, Boosie Badass, and we're going to find out what Boosie Badass is really about. I was fortunate enough to do a movie with Boosie. Guy's a, you know, phenomenal actor, phenomenal rapper, and I really had a great, you know, gelling time with him, but let the hood talk, baby. Yo, I'm your boy, Ameer Baraka. Thank you for watching Let the Hood Talk. You can hit us up at letthehoodtalk.com, post your comments, let us know what you know, some of the questions you want us to ask these people. It's all there, letthehoodtalk.com. Peace out.